Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Marnise Nicole and I'm an acrylic painter, and today I am doing Meet the Artist number 2, and this is a series that I'm starting so that you can get to know me as an artist a lot better. And this is going to be my mid-year check-in because it's July. 6 months have passed. We're well into the 7th month. I just wanted to look back and share what I've been working on, and since January I have done 22 paintings. And that seems like such a big number to me. It's averaging out to be about 3 paintings a month. When you break it down like that, it doesn't seem like a lot, but then when you say 22 paintings in 6 months, that's crazy to me. And to think that only last year in 2016 I started painting, and now 2017, 6 months into the year, I've already completed 22 paintings. And the thing about it is, these have been paintings that I'm completely proud of. I'm so happy with them. In each painting, I see more of my style developing. I see more of my color palette developing. I see me in these paintings, and that's such a great experience. You don't even know. So I'm very happy with that number, and I'm very happy and plan to stick with going forward an average of 3 paintings a month. And at the beginning of the year, back in January, I started a goal list. I had a few things that I really wanted to focus on a year, and so let's just go through that checklist. The first thing I wanted to do was use my art books more, which I have been doing, so I can check that right off. I have specifically been using this book right here. This is my favorite book to use so far because I use it alongside with working in my sketchbook, and this is How to Draw Plastic Heads and Faces. It's really helping me with proportions as well as painting and sketching profiles. That's what I'm working on right now anyway, and so I've gone through this book and read it start to finish like 4 or 5 times now. Another goal I had was to do more abstracts, and I have done quite a few, if not completely abstract, but more abstracted pieces. I kind of just like this style of adding unrealistic features onto realistic people, and so I did this with my off-the-shoulder piece where her hair is only lines. It indicates hair, but it's not exactly hair. I've done it with my most recent piece that's still not named, inserting it here. I feel like the name is like on the tip of my tongue. Like I almost have a name for this piece, but not yet. And so a lot of pieces of mine I feel are very abstracted. They're almost on the surrealism side of things, and so there's that. Another goal I had was to be more consistent with posting. I feel like I'm doing better with that here. You be the judge of that. I haven't gone more than a week of posting in the last couple of months, and now it feels like if it's been more than a week, it feels like it's way too long. So there's that. And what were some other goals of mine? I'm not sure. Those were the main goals that I had going forward: to post more, to use my artist books more, and just to paint more, and try different styles and everything like that. And so check. That's all been done. Going forward, I do want to play around with more abstracts. I want to take a few workshops, and there's this one I'm really interested in. It's a class that both focus on your style and then also getting inspiration from the masters and the great artists of our past, and using them to inspire work in yourself. So I'm really interested in taking that class. I also wanted to do art shows by the end of the year, and I have been in 3 art shows to date, with still 6 months to go, and that's really good because I wanted to push myself to at least try for one, and I ended up being in 3 different art shows, and so blew that goal right out of the park. And I actually got to experience 3 different types of art shows. One was at a small gallery, and so it was very laid back. The second art show that I went to was more of just a showing. It was a showing of work, not necessarily for any prizes or anything like that. It was just to display, and it was a nice cocktail hour, and we were there to help assist with the main show. It wasn't focused on us, more on the presentation and the event that was occurring. We were just a part of it. And then the last show was a very standard fine art show. There were prizes to be had. There was so many great artists around. There was different categories of work, not just paintings. There was sculptures, there were photography. The photography piece actually won the show, and it had a judge from an actual museum come to pick the winning prize, and that was a completely different experience. So going forward, I don't think I want to do any more art shows for the rest of the year. I want to focus on developing my style, but I have those for reference now for any future shows that I may do. And I also have some contact information for a lot of different gallery people, so when I do want to start showing more, I have that option. A few random things that I've noticed. One, because I'm painting so much, I don't read as much, and so I've switched to audiobooks, which if you don't know anything about me, I love to read, but I hated audiobooks. But now, because I'm painting all of the time, that's taking up a majority of my spare time, I'm listening to audiobooks because that's the only way I can read now. But it's made me enjoy books in a whole different way, so that's interesting. Another thing is I'm staring at people a lot. Sometimes when I see someone who has an interesting face, I've seen a face and I recognize that something's different about it, and I'm trying to pinpoint it. So I spend a lot of time when I see strangers, I'm just staring at people, and that's that has been uncomfortable sometimes, but it's been fun. And I'm observing things a lot more, just angles and perception and distance and colors and everything. So I feel like my artistic eye has expanded in the last 6 months. I'm also spending a lot on art supplies. I've become like an art supply hoarder. Before, I was just a books hoarder, and I would buy books and maybe shoes, but mostly books. Now I'm buying less books, I'm buying more art supplies, and it's just any type of thing that catches my eye, I want to buy it now. And so there's that. Another thing that's happened in the last 6 months or so, I've started buying art books. Like I would buy fiction books, and I'm reading art books where I would normally just, buy them to have, to be on the table. But now that I'm using them more and incorporating them into my actual work, I am buying art books by the truckload. Now I think I have a collection up to 15 or 20 now, and that's a big discrepancy, either 15 or 20, but I just can't even remember how many books I bought since I last did my art book haul or tour where I showed you all of the art books I've bought. Since then, I've probably bought about 5 or 6 more art books, and I'm reading them and I'm loving them, but I'm like buying a lot of art books. And I guess my love for books in general just transferred into art books, and so now every time I see them, now I buy them. Okay, and the last thing I've noticed is that on Instagram, I love finding new artists to talk to and to just speak with and have that conversation with, because I don't have a lot of friends that are into art at all besides my twin sister, and so I don't have a lot of artistic friends to talk to. And so I love being able to find people and be like, hey, I love your work, and make friends that way. And it's making me a much more social person, because I'm not antisocial, but I don't go out of my way to be like, hey, I love this about you and let's talk about it. No, I don't do that typically, but now I do. Whenever it's something like catches my eye art-wise, I'm just like, I love this. How did you do this, and where did you learn this, and are you self-taught, and everything. Like, I have a million questions to ask you because I'm so interested in different artists and how they became an artist, and learning their backstory, and it's making me so social, wherein I would never be social before. Definitely very polite in manners, and I know how to speak with people, but I prefer to be, an introvert. I prefer it. But online and meeting people it's easier for me when we have similar interests such as art. It's easy to start that conversation, so it's making me a social person, and I appreciate that. And so I think that is it for my mid-year update. And if you have any questions for me about my experience the last 6 months, definitely leave those in the comments below. And if you would like to do a mid-year update, I definitely invite you to. I would love to see how you have done in the last 6 months and what you think your progression has been there. This is a nice way to track progress and see what has happened from start to finish. So anyway, thanks so much for watching. Again, my name is Marnise, and I'm an acrylic painter. You have a great day. Bye.